In the news, Zweli Mkize has said that hotspots could remain at level 4. Now, this is very concerning, considering that President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday mentioned to the entire nation that all of South Africa will be moving to level 3 on the 1st of June. Now, just like they played games before, threatening to change the level that we're at, they are saying that the hotspots could return to level 5 even, or go into a hard lockdown, or remain at level 4. I'll read for you, and this is from News 24, and I'll post this article in the detailed description. And remember to subscribe to my channel, and also to hit the bell button if you want notifications on new videos. COVID-19 hotspots could remain at level 4 as the country moves to level 3 on 1st of June, with the possibility they could be moved to a hard lockdown if measures to curtail the spread of the virus fail. This according to Health Minister Zweli Mkize, who announced it to the National Council of Provinces on Tuesday. I did an article earlier on where he was grilled on the tobacco ban, and he said that it's for health purposes and everyone should know that it's bad to smoke. He said high-risk areas would be classified as hotspots and they would remain at level 4, lockdown restrictions with intensive implementation of screening and testing. This despite President Cyril Ramaphosa saying on Sunday evening the whole country should be lowered from level 4 to 3 with effect from 1st of June. So somewhere people are miscommunicating. I'm not sure who is in charge here, the health minister or President Cyril Ramaphosa, or who is running that council, but at this stage there's conflicting messages coming out, and this is far-reaching effects on the economy, our way of life, considering exercise and many other things. Even as we move to alert level 3, it is important that we should be aware that there are a few parts of the country where the disease is concentrated and where infections continue to rise, Mkize said. He also said we will have a differentiated approach to deal with those areas that have far higher levels of infection and transmission. These areas will be declared coronavirus hotspots. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa extensively spoke about the hotspots and that they will send in special teams to deal with it. He did not say that they will remain at level 4 or go onto a hard lockdown, whatever that might mean. The approach. Ramaphosa, however, did not say what the differential approach to deal with the hotspots would entail. Well, if this is what he meant by it, he was certainly fooling the nation, and he's lying to us, the citizens. Mkize told members of the NCOP on Tuesday the World Health Organization had advised the government should wait for a decrease in cases before easing the lockdown. So the World Health Organization seems to be hitting the snares in this country, and it seems as if they, as an unelected body that has nothing to do with our democracy, has more power than our own government. Think about that for a moment. Mkize told members of the NCOP on Tuesday that the World Health Organization is basically in charge. But Mkize said the economic downturn, poverty and hunger needed to be mitigated. How is he going to mitigate it? That's political speak. To say something's being mitigated, can you do it? Do you have the funds to do it? Do you actually have the means to do it? It's not just the poorest of the poor that are going hungry now. There's 40,000 cars being repossessed from one bank alone currently. I mean, I can carry on and on. Hard lockdown is no longer sustainable in its current form and needs to readjust. Read his presentation to the NCOP. Once again, he doesn't specify what that means. He added the infection rates varied between districts, with some districts having few cases and others significantly more. There is little value in stringent measures in those districts where there is low or no infection, but in the districts with high infection rates and active cases, there should be a focus on intensive action, Mkize told the NCOP. He said the current generalized lockdown would be eased to level 3 for those districts that do not have hotspots. Adding at level 3, there would be vigilance and close monitoring of areas of infection. So he's actually going against what President Cyril Ramaphosa said, or President Cyril Ramaphosa took us for a spin on Sunday trying to save face. High-risk areas will be classified as hotspots, and these districts will remain at level 4 with the intensive implementation of screening, testing and restrictions. We don't know what that actually means at this stage because that changes by the day. In 2 weeks, the districts will be reviewed again with a view to classifying districts across the 5 alert levels, and it is anticipated that there will be districts that are at level 1 to 5. He's basically saying that they are now going to split us into different levels across districts. So, I mean, how many districts are there in the country? How are they going to manage this? How are they going to actually get the people that should be enforcing their regulations to actually know what to do in what district, considering how bad they've been up until now? Infection. Mkize said if combined action in hotspots did not work to contain the spread of the infection, a return to a hard lockdown would be considered in the area, comparing it to Wuhan's lockdown. So they're getting advice from the World Health Organization, who are in bed with the Chinese, they've been covering up what the Chinese actually did, and now they want to give us a Wuhan lockdown. What does a Wuhan lockdown mean? People, it's time to wake up and start to actually think about what is happening to our livelihoods and our country right now. A district will be considered a hotspot if there are more than 5 active cases per 100,000 members of the population. He added expert teams would work in hotspots to make sure they looked after individual health. Experts will concentrate on a very small catchment area. They will try and keep as many people away from hospitals by getting them treated by teams of GPs and nurses. Now, the big problem here is that many people have not been going to hospital for other treatments that they need because they've been cleared for coronavirus cases. But now, they say that they're not going to treat the people in hospital. These people are very confused, or they are just confusing me at this stage. Mkize said they could introduce additional measures in hotspots to contain the spread of the virus. Now, I don't know what he means by additional, above and beyond a hard lockdown or level 5. On Sunday, Ramaphosa identified the following hotspots. Here it comes, people. You are in the long shot for a longer lockdown. A much harder lockdown. Tshwane, Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, eThekwini, Nelson Mandela Bay, Buffalo City, Cape Town and the West Coast, Overberg and Cape Winelands District municipalities in the Western Cape, Chris Hani District in the Eastern Cape and the Ilembe District in KwaZulu-Natal. How will alert levels be determined? Each district's alert level will be determined by Mkize, taking into account the burden of active cases, trends in the active cases and the health system capacity to respond to the disease burden. So he is once again saying that he himself he's making those decisions. He's not using MAC, the Council of Experts, to make the decisions. Him as a politician is making these decisions for us. The Provincial Command Council must consider these levels and submit provincial plans to contain the spread of the epidemic. So they must just implement whatever measures he has put in place. They don't have a say in what is actually happening, including health measures, economic activity, restrictions on movement and social services. So they must just implement these terrorist acts that our government is actually inflicting on us, because that's what it is at this stage. They are terrorizing the nation. Mkize will then present the proposed alert level per district with the provincial plans to contain the infection to the National Coronavirus Command Council, which will confirm an alert level and monitor the provincial plans to contain the infection. So whatever he recommends, this Command Council will then look at and verify and validate and implement. People, we are in for a hard time. Get ready to stand up and resist what this government is doing. Speak out. Wake up from your slumber. The time is now.